Today we are here with Byrne on his property at Saltwater. He was part of our Marine Estate Management Strategy program. He was able to undertake fencing, off-stream watering and weed control on his 66 hectare property, which is adjacent a very significant little catchment called Kappangat Creek. It runs into Saltwater Lagoon. It's special because there's not actually many properties that run in this catchment. Most of it is forested, so it's really fantastic that the landholder Byrne has wanted to take the step and do some fencing along his riparian area. Hello Byrne.
Hi Kirby, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good.
So can you tell us a little bit about your project? What did you get up to?
The project involved 2 kilometres of fencing of the riparian zone. There was no fences here at all. The property's a very old property, but
it was a dairy farm, wasn't it?
It was a dairy farm back in the 50s, and there wasn't much work done after it ceased being a dairy farm. The property was significantly overgrown with lantana and blackberry. It was still being used to graze to a small extent.
Yep.
When we purchased the property almost 5 years ago, 80% of it was covered in lantana.
So what did you do in the project? What did you get done?
In the project, we looked at establishing the 2 kilometres of fencing to keep cattle out of the riparian zone and therefore the waterway, and stop sediments, etc., you know, affecting the quality of the lagoon.
Yep.
We also put in place off-stream watering systems.
Sure.
And weed control. So.
Yeah, and so did the off-stream watering help with you managing your paddocks?
Yeah, it's helped a lot because I know where the cattle are all the time, and they're not wandering off and doing what they want to do. And we had a few problems with fires and things. And
well, let's talk about the fire, because so you had quite an extensive amount of weed control to do with the lantana, and you were all set for that. We had severe drought. We had quite a bad drought coming into summer. Then we had a very large bushfire come in and basically wipe out a lot of your property, or most of your property.
Yep.
Was that your biggest problem?
Mother Nature's always one of the biggest problems, and the fire was sort of bad in one way, but it also helped with the weed control incredibly, because I'd had a chemical spraying roster that had been done, so a lot of the stuff was dead, and then the intensity of the fire has absolutely annihilated the lantana.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other weeds, just a few small patches coming up, but it's manageable now.
Yep.
So that's been quite good.
Then to top it off, you had a bit of extra water in February, wasn't it?
We got burnt out in November, we got flooded out in February, and so parts of the project got done 3 and 4 times because the post burnt down, and then the post washed away. So, but anyway, you've got to keep laughing about it, otherwise you'd stop trying, I suppose. But the project's now completed. It allows me to manage the cattle movements on the property a lot better. I've still got some internal fencing to complete, and some neighbouring boundary fencing to complete that was taken out in the fires. But on the whole, the cattle are contained. They can't affect the lagoon at all now. So
and so I have to say, congratulations on finishing it. You've had a very tough year to do it, and not only are you able to manage your property better, the effects downstream to the saltwater lagoon, and so for the rest of the community and the environment, we've got national parks and state forests surrounding you. Not having, like you said before, the nutrients and sediment washing in from your stock, it's really beneficial for the natural habitat. So congratulations.
Thank you. It was probably one of the. I mean, you look around and we're standing here now, there's not a noise, there's bird life everywhere. It's a pretty special area.
It's a very special spot.
We've got to sort of look after that, and hopefully by doing this, and I mean this is just first stage of what we want to try and accomplish. There's still another 80 acres, I suppose, in old terms, down the back that we still need to work on. But that's something we can look at in the future, and we get on top of the rest of this, and hopefully we just keep powering ahead with it.
Well done. Thank you.